So, here's the tale, and baby, it's a gem. A heist so slick it broke the system's stem. They built the ship to twist reality. I twisted them and took it casually. They called it Heart of Gold, a ship of law, but I just saw an unlocked golden door. They ran on logic, forms, and data stacks. I ran on charm, confusion, and fake facts. I didn't break in, they let me aboard. They blessed my name and handed me the sword. Improbability was their big bet. They just forgot it works for me too, pet. They whispered wild in labs and coffee bars about a drive to leap between the stars. A triangle of theories, sharp and sleek, all dancing round what logic wouldn't speak. Math said perhaps, machines replied we'll try, and physics giggled, pointing at the sky. They thought that if the odds could just align, they'd leap from maybe straight to by design. But me? I saw the crack behind the scheme, a loophole wide enough to park a dream. Their balance sat there perfect, neat and still. It only took my nudge to bend their will. Once scholars sniffed the spark, they made a pile of papers thick enough to block a dial. They sharpened math till it began to bleed, then filed it twice to prove it could succeed. Their models looped, their charts began to glow. Each theory fed the next to make it so. They thought they'd locked the chaos into place, but I just traced their steps and matched the pace. I ghosted through their systems, took a peek, then mirrored every feedback path they'd tweak. Their gain became my route, their seal my map. Each backup plan just paved my secret trap. That's when the suits in orbit made a call. Let's fund this ship and own the skies and all. They dreamed of stealth, of weapons made of math, equations that could vaporize you just by graph. They locked it down with codes and clearance tiers, designed to last 100 safety years, but every layer bred another flaw. I slipped between each freshly minted law. They caused the tide that I would later turn. Their firewalls lit the trail I'd need to burn. I studied what they tried so hard to keep, then wrapped it in a plan I'd dream in sleep. It started no joke at a student's lame bash, some brainy kid sweeping up bottles and trash. He thought this thing's too unlikely to be, so he calculated just how that could be, then fed the whole sum, the odds of its birth, into a gizmo built mostly for mirth. A prank box meant to turn socks into bees, instead snapped reality off at the knees. The drive just appeared, bang, full of its grace, the moment that logic abandoned the race. And me? I was watching that ripple unfold. The system cracked open and I struck gold. They built a core where reason dared not go, where maybe turned to yes with every flow. A mess of paradoxes running hot. They called it progress, I just called it plot. It only worked because chaos played along, like tuning disharmony into song. They fused the fray instead of fixing flaws and birthed a ship immune to nature's laws. I stayed outside it all and split my mind, left clues too bent for sensors to unwind. They gathered what could barely work and prayed. I vanished in the gaps that drive had made. Once word got out, the talking heads took flight. Half called it hope, the rest called it a blight. The pundits screamed and politics got weird, which meant I hit the spotlight, bright and beard. I played the clown, the rogue, the public face, a joke contender breaking every place. While they all laughed, I walked right past the gate. Absurdity's the finest armor plate. The more they fought, the clearer I became. Too loud to stop, too strange to blame. Each bottleneck just filtered me through clean, till I was the approved anomaly machine. Now they were busy forging form from dream, a hull designed to surf a math-bent beam. Each part in tune, each wire in its groove, a masterpiece too balanced not to move. AI to pilot what no crew could steer, a frame that laughed at space, then switched to gear. The ship itself was harmony in code, a single note the cosmos never owed. But perfect things are fragile when they sing, so I just plucked one dissonant little string. I studied seams and systems they believed, and found the gaps their hubris had conceived. The ship went live, they flipped the switch and grinned, then watched as cause and chaos both got pinned. Each test it passed just sharpened up the dream. The drive had teeth and none knew how to scream. The weirder it got, the more they felt assured, as if a miracle could be ensured. They thought the ship was bending fate to task, while I just let the questions wear a mask. They saw convergence, flawless loops of power. I saw a crack get deeper by the hour. Their triumph fed the need I didn't show, a hunger hooked to every test run glow. They rolled it out with banners, beams, and flare, a ship too bright to question or compare. The crowd went mad, the memes began to spin, and I, of course, was already within. Some feared it, some just cheered to feel the blast. The rest made jokes and watched the headlines fast. The meaning fractured faster than it grew, which honestly meant I'd won before I made my move. They tried to shape the narrative in gold, but every version left a seam to hold. Each fractured thought became a place to hide, and I slipped sideways through their PR tide. And boom, they named me pilot, front and face, the perfect mix of menace, charm, and grace. A choice so dumb it had to be a plot, but no one questioned what they had or not. I smiled and waved and let them do the math while chopping out the memory of the path. I made my thoughts as scrambled as my grin, so even I forgot what lay within. They tied their hopes to my ridiculous ride, while I erased the me they chose to guide. I played the fool, then played the fool's disguise, and buried truth beneath their eager eyes. I flipped the switch I didn't know I'd set and let the ship take over like a bet. The systems knew me, every coded phrase, each override a ghost from stolen days. I didn't steal it, it stole me first. The drive wanted chaos, I was just the thirst. They made a ship that bent what should be done, and baked their loss in stage 1, run 1. The oversight collapsed in pure delight as I zipped off into improbably night. They built the key, the lock, the perfect box, and never guessed I'd be the paradox. So what's the moral, kiddos? What's the trick? You think I won't 'cause I move fast and slick? 'Cause I charm, disrupt, confuse, and run? 'Cause I made the whole damn system come undone? Sure, all that helps. It's fun, it's loud, it thrills. But chaos ain't just luck with better skills. Improbability's not chance on parade. It's truth you dodge by choices never made. See, they all stared ahead, chasing control, while I just danced where none would pay the toll. They mapped the stars, I listened to the space. Not what should happen, just what might take place. There is no chaos, just one blinding way we're too damn scared or proud to let it play. But me, I leaned in, gave the wheel a roll. You don't need permission, just a heart of gold.